up, Dan the man?
How you doing?
I'm chilling, bro. How you been?
Dude, life is amazing.
Cool. So we had a meeting the other day, right? The first of many, I'm thinking.
The first of many, yeah.
Cool. What did we talk about in the meeting, my friend?
The Ocho. The start of the office space, we introduced Gus and introduced everybody to the workspace. Kind of told them all about what our intentions were for it. I don't know, man. It was amazing. We had like 30 people here. There's a full video of that. We'll link that down here below. Yeah, dude, my heart was so full. It felt like it was like the soft opening of Graffiti Park and what
Yeah, it was awesome. Everybody was here. We're all talking. We're all chit-chatting. And everybody felt like home. What's a couple things you said you talked about, Gus? What's Gus?
Gus Bus, dude. That's we got a 24-foot yellow short bus from California. Dan and I, we flew out to San Diego, picked it up, and drove it, the 7 hours back home. And then we've now retrofitted it, so it's got locking steel cabinets in the back so that we don't get got like the last time. And we had to go through quite the process to get those involved and installed inside the bus. And now we're to the point where we've got Gus and we're rocking and rolling. That's our mobile paint mobile. There's we'll paint multiple thousands of square feet outside of that, no problem.
What is the Ocho?
The Ocho, thank you for asking, is multifaceted. So it's our headquarters. It'll pretty much start our paint shop careers, if you will, because we get all of our stuff here. It serves as an office for SEO Guarantee. It's an artist workspace here for people who need extra screens, need places to draw, places to create. So it's multifaceted, so it's called the Ocho because there's just tons of it, and it's a reference on dodgeball, the untold story.
You dodge a wrench, you dodge a ball.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
What is SEO?
SEO Guarantee, we'll probably have the guys, James and Matt, they're the co-founders of it. They are a website development company that specializes in marketing, advertisement, and SEO, which is search engine optimization. So they guarantee that they'll get you on the first page of Google. Most of their clients are cannabis facilities here in town, so it's a really cool environment to be in.
So I know with that whole meeting we had the other day, I know that you guys said there's a project coming up in August.
There is.
Cool. Are you excited?
I am, man. I'm elated. August will be our first volunteer project that we've had since January. January we did El Cortez Elementary School, and this will be, I guess, the first volunteer project from that since then. And so not having a volunteer project in 6 months, that was kind of the reason we displayed the Ocho, got everybody out, got to talk to everybody, just because those are our favorites. Those are when we get to add more people to the family, when we get to kind of show what we've got as a group. And so I really prefer the volunteer projects above that. The volunteer project in August will be at Snyder Elementary School. It'll probably be like the fourth weekend. And we hope to see everybody there. Cool.
So I don't know if this is true, but I heard some whispers today that you guys might be taking a trip to do something for a YMCA.
Dude, yes. So that's really the bulk of what this interview is, and kind of going forward, and why we're so excited to display the Ocho and going for with all the things going on. On a much more serious note, I'm really excited for the YMCA, simply because of all of the troubles and perils of what it took to get that one to happen.
But that's also tied into the beginning of all of this, correct?
It is, man, it is. So if you've seen Graffiti Park, if you've gone to our YouTube channel, the very first video that populates there is a interview that's called a Behind the Dream for Dreamr app, social media company. And that was beheaded by a really close friend. I looked at him like an older brother. I loved him. His name was Chris Adams, and he was, really a huge catalyst for everything that Graffiti Park was and has been, and the reason it's so near and dear to my heart is really because of that man. Unfortunately, on May 25th, he was taken too soon from us. Yeah, it's just a really tragic accident that really couldn't have been prevented, unfortunately, and it was just his time, man. And
So with this new YMCA project,
yeah, so Chris was the man, dude. Both of the first YMCA projects were because of him. So I had this idea for Graffiti Park, and I showed up at the Dream Machine, which was a tour coming through Las Vegas, where they were just doing good projects and trying to give back to the community. And so they needed videographers, and I immediately signed up. And Dreamr was this social media app where it's kind of like Twitter, but like you download the app and you declare your dream inside the app. So on the app, I had, a video of me in a mullet from a year and a half ago of like, oh, I have this dream about this park where people can come to, yada, yada. And so I had downloaded the app. Chris had seen my dream on the app. And when I got to him, he was like, oh, I know you. And I gutted, just told him everything I had. And he just kind of shook his head. He was like, well, we're building a music and video creation lab in the YMCA's for children. We're trying to curate some art for that. If you can get some friends, that'd be amazing. It sounds like it'd, be good for you, and let's work it out. And so I was elated, man. We the first YMCA was 1,200 square feet. It was like an old storage locker essentially for gymnastics equipment. And yeah, man, I hung out for 4 days recording Chris, watching him, and he went from being a mentor to something just so much more. And with the way he moved, dude, it's the first project, they crowdfunded $25,000 for that lab in 3 days. And they crushed it. They made it. We obviously painted it in 2, and then they came in, added all the technology, and we had Fox 5 News was out, I think, that day. And then immediately after the second Dreamrlab, right, was even more money. They raised $50,000 from Cox Communications and made it a Cox Innovation Lab at the Bill and Lily Heinrich one. And so there's a small town out in Pennsylvania where we're going July 25th or 18th to the 25th in Berwick, Pennsylvania. And so they were talking with Chris about all of the things Dreamrlab, because they got a grant that they were able to put the money in to that lab. And so with that, Chris was obviously the namesake, dude. He was a stone cold killer. He was such a savage. He's all tatted up. He's a goat, dude. He seems subhuman sometimes. And so obviously when he passed, now we're about a month and a half out, and it's been a lot, man. It's been very heavy on the heart. It's been good, but it's been bad, he was such a blessing in my life, and I just can't preach his name enough. I don't know. So afterwards, the YMCA from Pennsylvania called, and they said, hey, we don't want to do this without, him and the Dreamr team. A big part of that, they said, was Graffiti Park. So they reached out to us through Breezy Bolton and the YMCA. And so I'm just elated to say that I'm going to dedicate this YMCA out in Berwick, Pennsylvania as the Chris Adams Innovation Lab. And he deserves that. He deserves so much more. He was a god amongst men, man. And I'm really excited that, that'll be the first project that, one, Graffiti Park is really getting out of town and getting commissioned to go out and go across the U.S., really, go across the nation to paint something. And they asked specifically for artists that were the first artists, in the Dreamrlabs. And so Trippy, Pitchy, and Angelo and me and them, our new piece of the Graffiti Park team, Dominic Merton, we'll be out there painting the Berwick Y and getting some Philadelphia street graffiti writers to come out and kind of duplicate what we did in August of 2020 out in Berwick, Pennsylvania in July of 2022.
cool. So I know that you said you sent a video in talking about a park. So what is Graffiti Park to you, Daniel?
Dude, Graffiti Park is a feeling. Graffiti Park is the first and only place that will be centered around an individual. And what I mean by that is there's so many companies, there's so many brands, there's so many places in Las Vegas where they're attracting a certain kind of person, or they're attracting a very specific kind of group, or they've got a niche. And I really believe this, that Graffiti Park will be the first place that is completely individualized. It's made for you to come and for you to be yourself and for you to feel like you're welcome. whatever that looks like. If you're a muralist, if you like fine art and easels, if you're a digital artist, if you're a videographer, I mean, there will be no shortage. If you're a dancer, if you're anything related to food or food trucks, or there will probably be bars and restaurants, and now that cannabis lounges are open, like anything that could be viewed as art will be there at Graffiti Park. And the coolest thing I think about it will not be the structure of the place or what it looks like, but it'll literally be the feeling and the culture that we have created over the last 2 years with all of the projects that we've done, now with having a space. Like, this place is gonna be fucking different, man. It's gonna be unlike anything anyone's ever seen. And the coolest part is we're able to move anywhere and it won't be done without us. Because personally, dude, I just feel like with more and more we have people showing up saying, oh, I saw your hours on, Google, is this a place, am I able to paint? And I'm like, oh, we're in our first 4 days, dude. Like, you gotta get on the Discord, you gotta let us know that you're coming first, so there's a lot of hiccups there, but this is the first Graffiti Park, but the idea of Graffiti Park is a culture and a family and a phenomenon that this world has never seen.
Okay. What is Graffiti Park gonna look like if I were to, is it somewhere I can walk in? Is it just multiple places? What is it exactly? Like, can I take a piece of my art, go to Graffiti Park, show you my art, and then have people help me transition that art into other media?
Yeah. So on top of that, it'll probably be an indoor-outdoor space. More than likely, we'll have like offices, like a customization shop. So we'll have kind of like a tattoo parlor has, artists sitting around waiting for people to walk in for tattoos. We'll have probably a tattoo parlor, a commission section, t-shirts, shoes, like you name it. It'll be indoor, outdoor. So obviously with all the spray painting and stuff, everything that we're gonna try and do for like the actual graffiti side of things will be outdoor, modularized in containers, so that everything is movable. And the idea is that as we continue to grow, we want to start small and keep expanding and jumping from different place to city. And so the idea is that it'll all be modular and we can move it, so that the containers that are inside, you have those ones air conditioned, you move them with the outdoor ones, and that Graffiti Park is almost like a fucking circus that goes around town. And eventually we'll have our own space, but I don't know what it's going to look like, because I couldn't have imagined this office in my wildest imagination, and
I don't think any of us could.
No, dude, and this is literally within the first year of us looking for a space. So it's out in the universe. Like Chris Adams, he's looking out for us up above, and I don't know, our family, our artists, our word of mouth is just going to keep providing with us. And then now that we've got partners in SEO Guarantee, there's just nothing that can stop us. So Graffiti Park is what you make it out to be in your heart, and what you bring into it and tell the other artists about, because it's a fucking cultural phenomenon. It's a fireball. It's I don't know what you want to call it, dude. It's adding gas to the fire with each person that adds to our team. So.
Well, yeah, man. I just want to say thank you for bringing me a part of that, and thank you for coming down and sitting with me again. And I don't even think it's been a year, but you know what? Let's see where we can be in the next 6 months.
Good, and I'm just elated. Thank you so much to everybody that's a part of this. Eric, dude, thank you. I want to appreciate and say thank you to every single person that came into Graffiti Park saying, hey, I want to do this, because Eric came and he's like, dude, I really want to start filming footage, and I want to be a content creator, and I want to be good at this. And like, for you to come in excited to the office and ready to work and ready to, like, that is the energy that Graffiti Park needs to flourish. And so with each person coming on, Lane and the dinner media team, and Lindsay, you guys are rock stars. Sean, dude, he's our man. Like Matt and James, and Sanan and Adam, like, it's just amazing with each person that keeps coming into our life. Graffiti Park just starts like expanding and growing. And yeah, just thank you guys, because you guys are the reason that I turn in 25 tomorrow, man, and I'm just like over the moon. I couldn't have imagined this. Even in my in my journals, I was like, okay, like the first day Graffiti Park will be 21, 22, and then now we're like, okay, 23, but I had to stop myself and realize, because the first day that we had it was at the Ocho that day. And so I'm blessed, man. Graffiti Park is here. We're here to stay for however long they'll have us, and then after that we're going to the next spot. We're gonna eventually partner with the city of Las Vegas, and we're gonna be something like a cultural phenomenon that's gonna duplicate in every major city in the world, because ultimately everybody needs this feeling. Everyone needs to feel like they have a place and a reason to be alive. And if there's nothing else, man, Chris Adams was that man that told me, he was like, no, you have a dream, like let's do our best to make it happen. And if I can give anybody here, anybody out there, any artist that wants to come, whether that's Las Vegas or in Pennsylvania or in Philadelphia, wherever we go, I mean, you guys are what makes Graffiti Park what it is. So
thank you, man. We appreciate you.
Till the next